Well, we got some gold today from a writer on Vice about how the public was too slow to catch on to Mariah's attempt at recapturing fame with the release of Obsessed that should have meant more than just a clap back at Eminem. This opinion piece on Vice can pretty much be described as how the song wasn't just for Eminem, but for women around the world that suffer abuse, since according to people like this, all women are oppressed, even women that are wealthier and more powerful than 95% of the world's population. Eminem was certainly in a position of less power when he went against Mariah Carey, and it wasn't the other way around. By the time Eminem made it to the mainstream, Mariah already had diamond albums and several #1 hits, so Eminem was certainly the underdog, and since Eminem as a rapper already gained public perception about always speaking the truth, the fact that Mariah denied seeing him was a jab at his credibility and was career damaging. So Eminem retaliating to Mariah's claims, according to the writer, is oppressing women. If you don't know how much damage that can do, check out what's currently happening between Moby and Natalie Portman, and you'd see how claims can ruin your reputation. Now, she should have known better based on Eminem's history, since no topics were off limits to Eminem and fans love him for this, and if Kim could get it, you best believe Eminem wasn't going to sit around or post tweets ending with #BelieveWomen. According to the writer, Eminem defending his position was a populist rallying cry for angry, angst-ridden men who want to control women and keep them in a secondary, subservient place. Are you reading this? This has got to be the biggest jump to conclusions we've seen since Javier Sotomayor's high jump world record in 1993. The writer also wishes Eminem was held responsible for his art, and this is why many people think these SJWs are insane. If given the chance, they will ban hip-hop music and everything they consider misogynistic. Remember, it's always according to their point of view, as they are the moral gatekeepers of the world. See this. Ultimately, Eminem's art protects and shields him from criticisms, and when accused of bad behavior, he can hide behind his Slim Shady persona, the write-up says. On a side note, Eminem stated on Evil Twin from MMLP2 that they are the same, but before you come for Eminem, come for writers that specialize in horror like Stephen King. Now, as you can see, art is put in quotation marks, which is revealing of how the writer perceives Eminem's music, and this entire article is pretty much based on this. How dare Eminem respond and criticize a goddess like Mariah? It's also quite ironic that the writer paints Mariah like some sort of victim little girl that needs the help of unknown writers to come to her defense, because Eminem was just so much more powerful. Like I said earlier, this certainly wasn't the case, and in the role between her and Eminem, she was the established name worldwide long before Eminem came along. Unlike today's hip-hop, credibility back then was essential, and a rapper making false claims and getting exposed could destroy a career, and Eminem wasn't having it. Since this was also a case of he said, she said, the writer seems to state for a fact like Mariah was telling the truth and Eminem was lying. Name-calling and shaming language is something that these so-called progressives can't do without when stating their opinions, and the writer describes Eminem's response as sounding like a petulant man-child with a persecution complex. So responding to claims that you believe are false that could damage your reputation is being a man-child according to this writer, and I still don't see how the role between Eminem and Mariah has any link whatsoever to the Me Too movement, when first of all, she was the one in a position of power relatively speaking. Or are we to assume it's only powerful men that can be bad? Well, this isn't even an assumption according to many SJWs, as white male equals bad regardless of the circumstances, and women, regardless of power, wealth, and influence, equals victim that needs to be protected. See this quote from the article. Men remain the dominant gatekeepers in the industry, whether that's as label executives, managers, radio DJs, critics, journalists, and even musicians themselves. Men are still very much in control and can exercise their power and influence to shape or hurt a woman's career. If you thought I was making up the man bad and woman victim narrative, this should clarify things. In this age, no one is stopping any woman from following a career path of her choice. They can choose to start record labels, be radio DJs, journalists, anything they want to be. But because more men choose these professions, there's a conspiracy to keep women under and control them. But what about the conspiracy that stops women from taking up garbage disposal jobs? Of course, they don't cry for equal representation in those sectors, do they? The write-up ends with Mariah Carey and all women deserve better. Oh, poor Mariah. 18 number one hits in the United States, over 54 million albums sold in the SoundScan era. Oh, poor Mimi, $300 million in the bank, but I'm oppressed, a victim of male domination. Once again, rich or poor, identity politics rules the day, as all women are victims and deserve better. And one more thing, this is a song that features Gucci Mane. What are your thoughts on this? Tell us in the comment section below, subscribe if you haven't, and see you in the next video.